NewsWatch 12 Special Edition.
Top story, the Oregon wants your input for changes to a more than $400 million disaster recovery grant. Thank you for joining us for NewsWatch 12 Special Edition. I'm Rocky Walker. The grant is to help communities affected by the Labor Day fires of 2020. The changes include restructuring a new affordable housing development program, reallocating funds, increasing potential HARP awards, and adding reimbursement as a recovery pathway. With the Alameda fire causing widespread devastation, many in our community can be affected by this. This is why public hearings are being scheduled, with wildfire survivors strongly encouraged to attend. A hearing will take place on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week at the First Phoenix Community Center at 6 p.m. The Tuesday hearing will be in English and the Wednesday hearing in Spanish. And during the recent Ashland City Council meeting, Public Works Director Scott Fleury discussed funding options for the city's water treatment plant project. It's estimated to cost between $55 million and $75 million. This conversation is crucial as it ties into the upcoming ballot measure 15234, which will allow voters to decide on issuing revenue bonds for the project.
One of the things that we hope and expect to do as part of funding the project is to delay drawing against the WIFIA loan for as long as feasible. You know, currently the water fund has a pretty good cash balance.
Right. Fleury highlighted several financing avenues, including revenue bonds that would rely on future water fund revenues from ratepayers. The proposed ballot measure, titled Approving Ashland Resolution 2024-05, authority to issue water revenue bonds. It'll ask voters if the city should be authorized to use these revenue bonds to finance construction and rehabilitation of the aging water treatment infrastructure.
Now, your first forecast.
Good afternoon to Southern Oregon and some of Northern California. Here's a look at what we've got coming up this week. Coming around on Sunday evening, could see a slight chance of some rainfall, but until then, things look pretty unactive. We're going to see some pretty average temperatures all the way through until about Friday, where rainfall chances do increase, and then we see likely another splash of some rain into next weekend. There is a chance for an atmospheric river coming up on Monday too, but we'll talk more about that later.
Today, the Oregon chapter of the American Meteorological Society held its 32nd annual Winter Weather Forecast Conference at the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry in Portland. Experts gathered to discuss the impacts of La Nina on winter weather across the state, particularly in the Cascade Mountain region.
So we could expect to see higher than average rainfall and also snowfall, especially for the Cascades.
With prediction of snowfall ranging from 7 to 17 inches this winter, the Cascade Mountains in southern Oregon, including areas like Mount Ashland, Crater Lake, and the Siskiyou Mountains, are expected to receive significant snow. This is crucial for the region's water supply and winter recreation activities. Now is the time to make sure you're winter ready by assembling emergency kits, checking your vehicle's winter readiness, and stocking up on essential supplies. And Mount Ashland has seen its first snow officially, and the Oregon State Police have a reminder for us ahead of this winter. Take a look at this. OSP responded to their first snow rescue of the season. It's a good reminder that while we might still be getting up into the 70s and 80s in the Rogue Valley, surrounding areas like the mountains can get cold fast. OSP says to check tripcheck.com for up-to-date road information here in Oregon. And it's been 1 year since Medford Fire launched their EMS Squad program, and the department is giving us a look at how it's going. In a Facebook post, they said the squad responded to over 1,400 calls in the last 12 months. The squad intercepted over 700 calls that would have needed a fire engine and spent 385 total hours on phone calls. This helps the department by reducing strains on engines and maximizing operational efficiency. And Jacksonville Fire helped the community get a little bit more fire-wise today. They had their wood chipper set up on D Street to help residents get rid of extra tri-fuels. Removing dead and dying plants and debris helps create a defensible space and reduce fuels for potential fires. And in Siskiyou County, residents can sign up for an emergency preparedness training for those with developmental disabilities and their families. The trainings will teach attendees how to best prepare for disaster events and unexpected situations. And those who take part will receive a Red Cross Go bag filled with emergency supplies. Space is limited though, so make sure to apply as soon as possible. The trainings take place this Tuesday from 11 to noon in Mount Shasta and 3 to 4 p.m. in Wairika. And looking ahead, we are just 1 week away from the Ashland Monster Dash. The race will see families running a 5K, a 10K, or a mile, all in their favorite Halloween costumes. And it all goes to a great cause, supporting Ashland Public Schools through the Ashland Schools Foundation, with the event serving as one of the main fundraisers for the organization.
It's going to help meet the needs of so many different students or expose them to some new exciting opportunity or maybe a visiting speaker. There are just endless possibilities.
The way the money is spent is teachers apply for grants for materials, for special projects, or special equipment. On top of the races, there will be music and activities for families to enjoy at this Ashland Halloween staple. And you could still register up to the day before the race. So if you're trying to take a spooky jog for a good cause, you can still register, and you could find the registration link on our website, kdrv.com. And another run coming up is the Day of the Dead race in Talent, celebrating Dia de los Muertos, which is honoring and celebrating those who have passed. The run is on November 2nd, taking place at 2 p.m. And we're now over 2 weeks into the 34th annual Coach for Kids campaign, and we're already seeing our donation barrels getting filled to the brim. If you have a new or gently used children's coat to give, you could drop it off at one of our more than 50 donation barrels here in Jackson, Josephine, and Klamath counties. A full list of barrel locations can be found on our website, kdrv.com. And you could also donate to our Coach for Kids drive online or by check. We accept checks sent to KDRV at our street address and online donations at kdrv.com. Yet again, we want to thank all of our viewers and you at home for all of the support that we've gotten so far into this initiative. And tomorrow in Ashland, a mobilization ceremony will take place at the SOU Raiders Stadium at 11 a.m. The ceremony will see nearly 205 citizen soldiers heading to Egypt as a part of a multinational force and observers mission. They will supervise security provisions of the Egyptian-Israeli Treaty of Peace. These citizen soldiers represent communities here in Southern Oregon from Roseburg down to Ashland. And tomorrow, speaking of Ashland, is the celebration of the city's 150th birthday. The event will bring music and food to the Lithia Park Band Shell, and residents can sign a birthday card for the city. The celebration will be tomorrow from 2 to 6 p.m.